Hello, ladies and gentlemen, Konaji here. Welcome back to Formula One 2018 with our McLaren season number 3 of the career here. We have moved up to 4th place as a team. Let's see, we started the season 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th, and now we are 4th. That's pretty darn good. Really, I haven't done anything too major, and our progress, although it has been steady, has not been nearly as linear as it was with Haas, so I'm quite surprised that we've managed to work our way up. But if you look at the field, sure, we're 4th, but the spread from 4th back to 8th is so marginal now that it really isn't playing as big of an impact as it used to. So this field is so tightly grouped together. That's why we're getting these races that are so competitive. It's quite an interesting thing that's developed, and I'm enjoying it. And now we head on to Germany.
Welcome back to qualifying, where we're waiting for the lights to turn green in the pit lane to signify the start of the session here at the Hockenheim ring for this weekend's German Grand Prix. Indeed.
Alright, session info. I'm still searching for a good setup for this car here. After Silverstone, it's got me feeling a little jaded towards the high downforce comfortable setups. I'm leaning towards a lower downforce, less comfortable setup here because this is a rather fast track. At least it has a couple of fast sections in it. Really, though, kind of struggling with the stadium section at the end of the lap due to that. But let's go out for a Q1 time and see how it's doing. Pretty good practice pace, but it was kind of a fragile pace, you know what I mean? It didn't feel like a pace that I was super comfortable with running. Honestly, it kind of felt like the car had a little bit more qualifying pace at this track than it does race pace, or at least race consistency. And I think a big part of that is it's a very big tire step here. You go from ultras to softs to medium. That's a really big difference in grip. Gotta get it turned in there. If the nose washes out right there, it's a huge detriment to lap time. Forgot that I usually use mode 4 for this car in qualifying. Just seems to help a little. Oh, a little too fast into there. A little faster than I was used to, and it ran wide. Do have a power upgrade. Actually, 2 power upgrades on the car this weekend, I believe, is where we gained all of that. Car pace over the competition. Tricky turn this one is. Oh, man! Oh man, tricky indeed. Do we have enough energy for a second lap? I hope so. These tires are going to be a little used up. I got this weird sensation in the force feedback. Maybe it was the car bottoming out, but it felt like it was going around. And it actually wasn't. We'll just cut all the curb in turn 1 there. Alright, let's see if we can get another lap out of it. I'd really rather not use 2 sets of tires right here. This is a very short track, so shouldn't be an issue running 2. Hard on the brakes. Still locked him up there, not as bad. We're definitely quicker this lap, even before we got to the point of the mistake. Really didn't feel like the back end was behind me right there. Alright, let's see. Oh! Opposite way this time. It wanted to understeer real bad. That's kind of what I was hinting at, is it just feels very knife edge. Still, though, it was a good lap, an 11.3. That should be good enough to get us through, But man, I've really got to get this thing, I don't know, a little bit more dialed in, or I just need to back out of it a little bit more. I gotta find a balance in the speed. Pretty good results there in Q1. Not fantastic, but I'll take it. Very, very close times overall. So it's all very, I don't know, just kind of razor edge here this weekend. All right, here we go, out for our Q2 lap. Really drive it into turn 1. Too much. That was too much. Man. It's always been a track I've kind of struggled with. But I really feel like I'm struggling with it today. Struggling to really find a balance, a consistent line. The good news is the car has, I feel like it has the pace necessary when it's right, when I get everything right. I'm just not getting it right frequently enough. I don't like that this Haas is trying to run me over. That's not too encouraging. This is where things get weird. Yep, did it again. I knew he was gonna hit me. I just knew he was gonna hit me. 5-place grid penalty, collision with Magnussen. I'm sorry, I guess. All right, well, with that, I think I'm gonna bail on qualifying here. We're gonna have a 5-place penalty anyways, and I don't foresee us really having a great race here. So I think I'm gonna use this as my parts hoarding race. So we'll try to make something of that. Pretty ridiculous that we ended up with a penalty for that. It was obviously a crash. Like I didn't intentionally spin out in front of him, and he could have lifted for, 10 minutes before he hit me. But whatever. That's the video game. I'll take one of everything, please.
So before the off, let's remind ourselves of yesterday's qualifying session with a look at the starting grid. Valtteri
It was bad.
Bottas lines up on pole position, with Sebastian Vettel starting alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Sainz, Hockenheim, Fernando Alonso, and Perez, Grosjean, Ocon, Stroll, and Kimi Raikkonen, Ericsson, Ricciardo. They've taken a grid penalty. Charles Leclerc and Magnussen, Gasly, Hartley, Lewis Hamilton, and Sergei Sorokin, Verstappen, and Red. Now it's almost time to lights out, so let's go down to the track.
I wish they had told us about like how many grid penalties we had, because it would have been interesting to know. That's interesting. In our short little race here, we are supposedly going from clouds to light rain to clouds. Is that going to mean intermediates, or is that not going to mean intermediates? Because if it means intermediates, then I want to start on the soft and go as late into the race as possible before pitting to try and leapfrog. I think I'm going to do that, in fact. Why not? There we go. We're going to go from soft to ultras around a lap 11, assuming it doesn't rain. If it does rain and we do need to go intermediates, at least we won't have made a pit stop before that. Should be something to work in our favor here. And we're going to need something to work in our favor here. The good news is, if I can keep the nose on this thing and if I can stay on the track, there's a lot of good passing opportunity. '65-place grid penalty. Oh, so much tire spin. So much tire spin. Not a very good start, but it is stacked up big time. That's what I was hoping for. I was hoping they would all stack up in that kink, and we would slide by. Take to the grass to avoid Magnussen, I think. Wait, is Magnussen who we had contact with in the qualifying session? Is he gonna be mad at me? I should be mad at him. He's the one that had the ARCA brakes going on. Ooh, don't accelerate on the curbing. That's a no good. Alright, hard to keep up right now. Being on the harder tire around the cars on Ultras. Especially since it's a two-step weekend, meaning there's 2 steps in between the hardness of the tires. Those words make sense? I hope so. But really, it was a really good, advantageous start for us. And if we can kind of hold this position, not lose a lot of time, even if it doesn't rain enough to bring out inners, that might work in our favor. Having the good tires for the last stint. Especially if I'm still able to pass people with these tires. Like that.
Great maneuver. You made it look easy.
Thanks, Jeff. Using all the energy here. Hello, parking lot. I did not clear myself to the left there. I'm glad it worked out. I certainly didn't look beforehand. Now, after like 3 laps, these tires are gonna even out. In my experience, those Ultras run off pretty quickly. Oh, Leclerc. Leclerc! All sorts of crossed up there. Almost feels like maybe his are already feeling weird.
Okay, entering lap 3 now. DRS has been enabled.
Okay. They don't get it here, though. Let's try this outside move again. They're so into defending the inside lane, they don't even realize that the next turn is is an opposite direction, so you can sneak in the inside there. Even on DRS, he is all over me. Unless maybe he had it also. If I had held to the track a little bit more, I could have got a better exit. It worked out, though. That's a little bit of grass. Wow, it actually held flat through there.
Okay, we don't think we're far away from some rain. I'll keep you updated as the conditions change.
It would be a bit of a drawback if it rained before everybody pit for their first set. But honestly, it's been such a good stint that I don't think it's a huge drawback. I don't know what's going on with the game here all of a sudden. Maybe it's just these 2 tracks. They touch, they touch.
If you think you can get past, increase ERS deployment to overtake mode.
What about fuel, too? I'm gonna increase everything. Boy, they're going at it. They're going at it, not leaving me anywhere to go. This is really tight here. I think they'll go like 5 or 6 laps before they pit. Of course, the danger in going long, if it does stay dry, would be that they are going to undercut me after the pit stop, being on newer tires that I'm already on. But I don't think we're in that kind of race situation at the moment. Excuse me. Trying to get this draft. Make sure he doesn't. Oh no, Ericsson. Oh, this is going to get weird. That's not how I expected that to go.
Come on, you can win that place back.
I never really had it. Same thing there. He's trying to run this defensive line to keep me getting next to him. And the AI doesn't know how to run that line. So he gets himself all crossed up. I wish Ericsson would have pit this lap, but I should be able to get by him here if I get out of the darn grass. No, wow. Full energy here. I was able to get in front of him before the braking zone. That's as ideal as it gets. Haven't run out on my own this race. I gotta try and click off good laps while doing that. This is a pretty critical time in the race for me. So nervous around that turn. All the problems I've had right there.
Happy with the current tyre condition? They should last a while yet, so don't worry about them.
So far, it looks like the rain's not really playing a factor. It would have to get pretty ugly pretty quick for it to matter too much.
Gap to teammate behind is 16.4 seconds.
That's good news. We're running fast times. I'm running purple sectors. So these tires are still so new that it's not really mattering that we haven't necessarily gone to the ideal strategy. Feels like if I could run decent laps here, we still have a pretty darn good chance of scoring some points today, I think. There's the rain. Now that's going to be the tricky part, is how does the car react to the rain? Do we need to go to inners? And can I keep the thing on course? I feel like we've never had a race here that didn't get interrupted by rain, no matter what length they were. I think I was only going to run like 6 laps at the end on the Ultras, so we're going to be going a ways here. Not pitting anytime soon, so we got plenty of time to watch the weather and react to it. The other thing that might play in my favor here is if some of the cars I was racing are still racing as I'm running in clearer track. The thing that will work against me is that the AI are usually a lot better in changing conditions than the player. It seems like...
Careful on those slicks. These conditions are making the line a bit greasy, but we're still nowhere near the changeover point.
It's good info. Yeah, they aren't usually affected by...
Track conditions aren't improving. It's your choice as to whether you want to fit the wets next time you come in.
Alright. I'll never get that point across, so I'm just gonna give up. Remember, kids, always consider just giving up. That was a random purple sector. This is very much so a drizzle right now. This is not a rain. So if this is all it's going to do, I would say there's little chance we're going to go to intermediates. kind of surprised to be the only car on this strategy. I would have expected at least 1 or 2 back markers to do it. Apparently, see, that's the turn. It's bad enough in regular conditions. In these nearly moist conditions, it's hell. I need to completely back out of it for that turn from here on out. I don't like the way this is shaping up. That mid-pack is now catching up to me. And the game's running worse than ever. Right in the braking zones, of course. I feel like the rain's actually going away. Doesn't feel like it, but it looks like it.
It's not a perfect situation, but I don't think we have cause to move on to a different time yet.
No, we won't. Unfortunately, we won't. That was our only chance, as if the race had gone over to wet. It caught a massive slide in the front, but that's better than letting it run wide, I think.
Pit window open. Let's box this lap.
Okay. I'll be happy about that. It might be a pretty hectic few laps here as we exit. If we're near cars, we're going to be on good tires and running just a crazy pace. Really need you to work with me here, game. Alonso's still in pretty good position there. So at least our team has some points on the table today. Gosh, it just... I guess I gotta just turn the thing in way more there, even though it feels like the fronts are sliding, because it just completely runs wide, out of grip. That's the undoing of the strategy in this race. I mean, it's been the undoing for me the whole race weekend. Let's see, do we at least come out like around 10th to give us some option of potentially racing for a position, or is it much worse than that?
Exit now.
7th. Yeah, it looks like we'll have a pretty good race on our hands here.
Strategy complete. See these tires through to the end now.
Even if they did put me out nearly into the side of a car. Okay. Oh, come on!
That move was illegal. Return the position.
It's not my fault they didn't know how to get around. That's funny. Man, the AI are dumb sometimes. There's some things that they do not know how to do. Passing broken cars is one of them. So it looks like 7th is probably the only thing on our menu. And that's assuming that it's as good as I thought it would be.
The situation is pretty touch and go right now. We think the slicks may still be quicker, but it's very close, and you're going to struggle to keep them in the temperature window. The inters are ready when you need them.
I think I'll still be in the better position here, though. Because I have a softer tire that's easier to keep in a heat window.
5 laps of fuel remaining.
Come on, game. Just work with me a little bit here.
Good job, nice overtake.
Alright, with all that, Sainz has really run away. As I nearly broke into song there. These tires are better than everyone else's, but they are not the ideal tire for the situation, for sure. Of course, right when we pit, the weather starts to change. The game's just running like total garbage right now. Be real easy through here. Starting to see moisture in the track. A little bit of a dry lane developing. Well, I guess it's a wet. The dry lane's been there, but the wet lanes are developing around it. How does that work?
To consider switching to a lower fuel mix, you may not finish on the current setting.
Whoa, why? Why did that just jump down? Was I up in Rich the whole time there or something? Oh, this track condition is rough. We are closing though. It's awful to drive right now, but like I said, we just happen to have the best tires. Oh, it would have been interesting to see how this would play out.
DRS has been disabled by the stewards. DRS will be offline.
Without the rain. I also wonder how it would have played out if I had gone to inners instead of the ultras, but we would never have known to do that.
Gap to car in front is 2.7 seconds.
We are still closing. I'm gonna have to hold a tight wheel here. Oh, they pit. They pit for inners. Really? They think they're gonna make up 16 seconds? I don't think they're gonna make up 16 seconds in 3 laps. They might. They may.
2 laps of fuel remaining.
They gotta get through traffic also. Very interesting there. And it feels like the rain's already starting to let up a bit. He says as the rain hits his visor. That was scary.
Vettel's leading the race.
It's very wet over here. You can actually hear the rain. Seems like Sainz is doing worse than Ocon behind us, which is concerning.
Cars are coming in for inters. It's touch and go, but could be worth the risk. We'll be ready if you want to box. Our gap to first place.
Oh yeah, the risk has been made now.
9 seconds.
We're gonna fly off here, yep. I was hoping I could get the power down better out of there, but it didn't happen. Here come the cars on inners. Very touch and go. We really need the rain to let up suddenly. It's not happening. Yep, there's an inner car right here. Bye! Oh, there's actually spray off the tires.
Okay, focus. We need to stay on form.
On form? I couldn't be any more on form, really.
This is your final lap of the race.
Fortunately for Perez, he couldn't sneak in there. Oh yeah, it got fully wet here at the end. Alright, now Ocon's on softs. We should be able to hold him off in theory, but like I said, they get very much so superhuman in conditions like this. So it's not going to be easy.
ETA on this rain clearing up is about 10 minutes, so just keep your concentration out there.
Oh, they got that forecast all wrong, didn't they? Well, we almost had the right strategy.
Okay, gap ahead is 3.
If it had rained
seconds.
a lap earlier. I just don't have any grip. That's what annoys me, is they're not even getting sideways. They don't look like they're struggling at all. They just get slow. Oh well. 8th and 9th. Boy, a rough week of races, huh?
Great drive, great drive.
Really rough.
I'm really happy with that performance.
I guess you should be? I don't know.
Here's our winner, pulling their Ferrari into Parc Ferme. What a fantastic race it was.
So it worked out for them,
So, here
staying
they
on
come now,
softs.
out onto the podium. Wherever you go, anywhere in the world, the prancing horse flags are dominant in the grandstands. And now let's take a look at the driver's standings. It's a good result for Sebastian Vettel, who moves further ahead at the top of the table. And now I'd like to ask you, Anthony
rough.
Davidson, who was your
Rough
driver
for our
of the
Force
day?
India
I
battle.
have to give it to Red. They demonstrated a very delicate touch in close proximity to other cars, as well as showing a lot of maturity and patience in difficult situations.
And here's how things are shaping up in the
Thanks.
Constructors' Championship. Ferrari
We already
extends
saw
their
that.
lead at the top of the...
Oh man. Yeah, I would have. I mean, I don't know. I could have done better here. I screwed up qualifying. I think I did everything I could with the race, though. I don't really feel like that was a good call there. That was a good call to wait for the kink. Yeah, I don't feel like I gave up too much in the race. Really on razor's edge with the tire situation. Pushing as hard as I can. Don't think we could really ask for much more there. So to score points at all out of this race is good. And the ramifications of that are we have a whole extra set of everything to not worry about for the remainder of the season. That is great news. That should really help us somewhere down the line later in the season. Alright, that'll do it for F1 today. Thank you as always for watching. I'll see you next time.